Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to our LinkedIn Live session. I'm very excited about today's session because it's a bit different. Today, we will focus on one of our clients. They are called 68 People. They are a recruitment agency that specializes in hospitality. And I think they're great for multiple reasons, but some of them include the fact that since we started working with them a year ago, they grew nationally to multiple offices, they grew their team, and whilst doing that, they maintained their employee turnover at only 6%. And we all know recruitment industry is well known for high employee turnover. They managed to get it down 7 times better than industry average. And I think the key of why they, achieved such great results is the fact that they invested in their company culture. And I'm very happy to be part of that investment, and I'm very excited about sharing this story today. So in terms of the session right now, I won't take too much of your time. It will take about 15 minutes. If you do have any questions in the meantime, feel free to ask away in the comments, and then Dan, my co-founder, will answer any questions that you might have. So today we're here to talk about how 68 people use our feedback platform that's personalized to your motivations. But first, why am I talking about feedback? I think feedback became essential ever since the pandemic. Right now, most of us work either remotely or hybrid to some extent, and we don't have the face-to-face interactions on a daily basis. So sometimes you might be, stuck at home on your own, and because of that, we might miss out opportunities for support, for growth, for leadership, especially, for managers. And that's, I think, this continuous feedback is essential to make sure you can spot those challenges early, spot those opportunities early, to make sure that everyone is at their best and nobody, feels disengaged within your team. However, when you look at the current feedback survey market, you find that the majority of surveys are quite generic. They ask similar questions on a regular basis. They provide, extensive analysis for managers that tends to be generic as well. And, we identify the managers are extremely busy. And because of that, they might not have enough time to do that analysis. And if they don't do the analysis, then it's hard to take particular actions on the back of feedback. And if you don't take the action on the back of feedback, that can lead to people feeling disengaged or even leaving your business. And that's why we really created YourFLOCK, which is a personalized feedback platform. And we help with fixing that challenge of time. So we only ask people questions that matter the most to them. We take an extra step. We first find out what motivates each individual across your team, and then personalize that experience, personalize the questions that we asked based on what motivates people the most. And because we've got that personalization, we can then recommend to managers specific actions on who to speak with and what to discuss to make sure that everyone's at their best. And I'll show you in more detail on how it works. I'm very excited to show you, our platform as well. So far, all companies that work with us for 6 months or longer either improve or maintain their employee retention. We've got some great case studies where we saved £100,000 in 6 months purely by minimizing employee churn. And one of our great clients is 68 People. So as I said at the start, they kept the employee turnover at 6% only, which is 7 times better than the industry average, which I think is just amazing. So definitely, if you do work in the hospitality sector, looking for a recruitment agency, I would highly recommend 68 People. I think the company is destined for success. There are 2 founders, Abby and Charlotte, and I'm very happy to see that, Abby recognizes that YourFLOCK is a tool that helps them to maintain that retention and great company culture. So first, let me tell you what sort of challenges and priorities they had at the time of buying YourFLOCK, and then I'll show you how we help them solve those challenges. About a year ago, they were planning to expand nationally across the UK. They were planning to recruit new people internally. And what it meant is that some of the employees that they had currently would need to step up to become managers, manage new employees or existing employees. And they wanted to make sure they have the right solution that gives them the structure that equips the managers with tools necessary to be great leaders. And that's why they decided to work with YourFLOCK. And that's what exactly helped them with. And so we provided them with ongoing metrics on to be able to view how engaged the employees are. So on a regular basis, they can see how engaged their teams are and whether it goes up or down. If anything happens to those scores, we give them simple prompts and one-page reports that tell them on who they need to speak with, what they need to discuss to make sure that everyone is at their best and the employee engagement is on the rise. And then the last thing that we suggested as well is the people strengths. So, especially when you're a new team leader, you might not know, how to play to people's strengths. Or if you recruit somebody new in, you don't know what makes them tick. We give you insights into what are people's strengths and give you tips on how to best manage them to make sure they are at the best. So that's how we help them. And let me show you now how the platform works and how we delivered it for them. So what I wanted to show you is first the perspective of an employee, what the employee would see and get from our platform, and then I would show you what the team leader, what's 68 people, Abby, will get as a result of that feedback provided by employees. So let me show you first the personal profile of an employee. So if you go into, sorry, my Zoom is just not working properly. Okay, so this is the personal profile. For the GDPR reasons, I will show you my personal profile. So at the top in here, the first thing you can see is my top motivation. So this is something that motivates me the most, and the entire experience on this platform is personalized to this. The way we identified it is by asking all users to take a 5-minute survey that was derived from the University of Manchester that creates your individual motivational profile. And then all the questions that we ask in feedback are tailored to that profile. We even go a step further. We give you a further analysis of your motivational profile, and we can compare your profile against your team, so you can easily find your strengths, your differences, and you can further improve and evolve the way you collaborate to make sure you have a great culture that plays to each other's strengths. I would love to go through that profile and the analysis with you. However, we don't have that time. I promised you 15 minutes. So if you would like to find out more about that analysis, please reach out. I would love to have a separate chat and do a proper demo for you. But I just wanted to show you that there is this deep level to the analysis of motivational profiles. So now, once we have that motivational profile set up, the next step is to collect feedback. So on a regular basis, you as the user will receive a link directly to your inbox with a 1-minute feedback survey to complete. And let me show you how it looks like. So it's only 6 questions, and this is how it looks like. So you can use it on your web, you can use it on your mobile. The first question is, how proud are you to be a member of your team? And then you can rate it from 1 to 10. The following question is actually personalized to your team. In our case, the value that motivates everyone the most collectively is also customer focus. So to ask whether we often make decisions based on client feedback. And again, if the score is low, that would feed into the report for the manager that I will show you in a second. The next question is to rate your manager. The following question is to provide a comment. So this is any praise, any recognition you want to provide for your team or for any individual within your team, and you want to share it with your team and your manager. The next question is actually tailored to you individually. So my top motivation is, as you saw before, is customer focus. So ask whether I could recently share or analyze customer feedback. And again, if my score is low, then that would feed into the report, and I would tell my manager to share some client feedback with me because I haven't had the chance to recently. And then the last question is very quick. Do you need a one-to-one? Sometimes, something might happen in your life, your well-being might be low. You just want to have a chat or a catch up with your manager. If you say yes, your manager next week we'll organize a quick coffee with you and then find out what support you need. And that's it. That's the feedback survey. It takes about 1 minute to complete. You do it every 2 weeks or every month on a regular basis, and then that feeds into your manager report, which I think is the most exciting part of the platform, and I will show it to you now. So this is how the team profile looks like. This is the team profile of 68 people, and again, I unfortunately won't be able to go through each feature of that page. If you do want to find out more about different features that we provide, feel free to reach out. I would love to do a one-to-one demo as well. But the most important bit is the bit at the top, which is your most important metrics. You can see your monthly response rate, you can see your team engagement score, and I'll show you the breakdown of it in a second. And a very interesting bit is this value in here, which is the motivation that's collectively the most intense within the team. For 68 people, personal growth is the most important. It's a very useful information because if 68 people create a culture that gravitates around personal growth, they will be playing to their people's strengths. Like you can create very simple routines, very simple things that you do within your company that align with that, and they will have a huge impact on the way people feel. Like one of the things you can implement is simply asking people what new skills they would like to learn over the next quarter. It's a very simple thing to do, but because it aligns with that personal growth, it can have a huge impact. And the more things you do, the more you foster that personal growth within your team, people will be more motivated. You know, often as team leaders, we assume that everyone's motivated by the same thing as we are. Or in recruitment, you know, everyone's motivated by money. This is not the case for 68 people. People want to grow. People want to become leaders. So if you provide that, it will have a much better impact than just purely doing something completely different. Okay, so now let me show you how the team engagement score breakdown looks like. So once we collect feedback, we send that feedback to you as the team leader, and you get it over email in a one-page report. So I blacked out some of the personal information in here, but this is how it looks like. It's only on one-pager. We know that managers tend to be very busy, and that's why we only do a one-pager. You should spend about 5 minutes on this. This should give you your people priorities. And if you execute them, we know that within 6 months, we will improve or maintain your employee retention and potentially save you thousands of pounds. So let me walk you through this. So at the top, you can see your most important metrics, and you can see whether they are going up or down. So depending on what you did over the past 2 weeks, that will have an impact, and you will see if it had a positive or negative impact on your people's happiness, on your personal growth, and on your team leader rating. In our case, 68 people is actually very engaged. Actually, 68 people has one of the highest scores of employee engagement across our platform. So I think that just highlights, how great culture they have. The most important bit, I think, is this bit in the middle, which is who you need to speak with and what do you need to discuss. In our case in here, you can see at the top, you've got a few people who haven't responded for a month, so they just need a nudge to respond next time. We've got one person we flagged, and we identified that it's worth having a chat with them. Just discuss some of the challenges that they have and discuss possible solutions you can implement. So it's not, this prompt is not that specific. However, with our algorithm, we identified that having that chat would be very useful. Not talk about work, but talk about their challenges. And that's a very simple thing to do from the perspective of the team leader. You simply grab a 15-minute coffee, and this can lead to very powerful conversations. You can find out more about people, and then you can see how you can unlock their potential. So that's a very simple prompt. And sometimes we can get much more specific. Like, for example, in my case, if I said that I didn't interact with clients or client feedback, the prompt would be share some client feedback with Michael because he's customer focused. So again, very simple action, but it adds to motivations and can have a huge impact on the way I feel. And then at the bottom, you have comments. So 68 people, again, they're very engaged with the platform. They provide a lot of different comments, and you can use it as ammunition to recognize your team members. In this case, you can see some great comments around the conference sessions that they did. Somebody has been recognized for being very resilient. So again, use it and then share that with the team, share that with the individual to make sure that they know about being recognized and they can feel more motivated at work. And that's the feedback report. You get it on a regular basis, one pager, very simple actions, not too much of your time, but as you execute it, we know that will positively contribute to employee retention and potentially save you thousands of pounds. And just to summarize, I just want to show you that we are now running a free trial. So if you are interested in finding out more, feel free to reach out. We would love to set you up with our platform, and you can try out YourFLOCK yourself for the 2 weeks and then see how it provides value for you and how useful it can become. So that's it from me for today. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully speak with you soon. Thank you.